Okay, let's kick this off. So thanks for joining my first ever tutorial slash webinar. Subject is Betfair today. So there's been a lot of interest on Betfair because of Hemant and his tips. Betfair's a great tool, and it's more than a bookmaker. It allows you to both be the gambler and to be the bookmaker at the same time. The main interest of Betfair is that it's what's known as a betting exchange. Betting exchange allows people to match bets against each other. So if I want to place a bet at a particular odd, then I can show that I want to place that bet on the Betfair market. And if someone wants to match that bet, so someone wants to offer me that bet, then they can do that. They can do so. It's a marketplace for matching bets. Betfair offers other things as well. You can see along the top here that there's a sportsbook, which is the same as any other sportsbook. The odds are actually the same as Paddy Power's odds. So I don't know how easy it is for some of you to get Paddy Power accounts, maybe not so great in Africa. Also the casino, live casino, poker, the usual range of other games that you should probably try to avoid those. So what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be chatting through Betfair, and right at the end I'll be taking questions, but I'll take questions on the WhatsApp chat group because I'm not quite sure how to do it on Zoom. So I won't be checking the WhatsApp group apart from now. This is the very last moment. Okay, great. So let's go for it. I guess the first thing to know about signing up is the first thing about Betfair is signing up to Betfair. It's no different from anything else, any other bookmaker. It is not available in every single country. In Africa, it should be available in most places. You'll know if it's available for you by looking down the country list. We have quite a few Kenyan members of the community, and Kenya's featured, as well as Nigeria. If you're from the US, then bad luck. Unfortunately, you cannot get an account with Betfair. When you choose a currency, it's important to choose the same currency as you'll be using for all other bookmaker accounts. That avoids exchange rate fees, and merchants such as Neteller and Skrill love to charge you as much as they possibly can when it comes to exchange rates. So please keep everything straight. I see a few people have raised their hands. Please keep any questions to the end. All right, so once you've signed up, then you will enter the site. This is the sportsbook, first of all, which, as I said, it looks like all other sportsbooks. You have a list of matches, sports along the left side, as well as the odds. It's not particularly interesting, so I'm not going to be focusing on that. What we want to talk about today is the exchange. So off we go. Now, I'm going to take you to a market which will be familiar to most. It's going to be a football market. You can find all of these sports on the left-hand side, and let's head to the Premier League. Okay, so we're going to drop down to Wolves versus Everton, and we're going to look at a main trading page. This is where it's going to start to get a little bit unfamiliar to those who have not seen an exchange before. We have blue numbers and we have red numbers. Let's look at the blue numbers first of all to talk about what they mean. We have the two teams, Wolves and Everton, and we have the draw. The numbers here, the blue numbers, are the odds that you can bet at, the best odds that are available to bet at, as well as the amount of money that is available at those odds. So these are other people. These are people like you and me offering these odds to you to bet at. So if you want to bet on Wolves, then the best odds you're going to get right now are 2.44 for $18. The next best odds are 2.42 for $30. Next best odds are 2.4 for $90, and so on. You can see the full range of odds by clicking on the graph next to the team name. So here we go. There was the 2.44 matches with the 18, 2.42 with the 30, and 2.4 with the 90. And all the way down, you have amounts of money available, all the way down to 1.01. So let's see what happens if we place a bet. So I'm going to place a bet. The best looking thing for me looks like the draw right now. And we're going to have a look. So I'm going to try and place $1 and see what happens. Nothing's going to happen because Betfair has a minimum bet. As with all bookmakers, Betfair minimum bet is slightly larger than most. If you have a US dollar account, the minimum bet that you can place is $4. So the nice place bet has now become ungrade. So off we go. Let's place our bet. So now my bet has now been matched with somebody else. So I have placed a bet for the draw or to 3.1, and someone has offered me that bet. What's useful to see now are your liabilities and your profits. So under Wolves, you've now got a -4 for red and Everton -4 for red. That means that if Wolves win or Everton win, you lose $4, which is normal, as you expect, because you just bet on the draw. If it is a draw, then your return is going to be 9.6, which is obviously 4 times 2.4, 2.4 being the profit that you're going to be making. How Betfair makes their money is they charge a commission. So I will not get the 9.6 back exactly. I'll get 9.6 less the commission. Now, commission starts at 5% at Betfair. And the more you bet, the lower your commission gets, because they have something called commission points. It can go down to as low as 2%. What do we do next? Okay, so that's a basic back. You understand how to find a sport, how to find a market, and how to bet on a team. If you wanted to bet on odds that are not there, or you wanted to bet more money, then that's possible as well. I'm going to show you how to do that. If you wanted to say bet on Everton, but you think the odds of 3.15 are a bit low for you, then you can ask for a bit more. So let's say I want to bet odds of 3.25, maybe for $10. Now I'm basically putting that offer into the marketplace, and people will be able to see that offer. And if they want to offer me that bet, they can do so. See what happens when I do that. All right, so I've placed my bet. And what's happened now? What happens now is that my £10 bet appears on the pink side. So we're going to get onto the pink side very, very shortly. If I want to, so at any time before the match starts, I can either amend the bet, so I can raise or lower the odds, like that. So my bet has now been changed to 3.3. I can change the stake, 20. So I'm now wanting to bet 2 lots of 10, so $20, that was a 3.3, or I can cancel the bet. The final option is I can keep the bet after the match has started. So once the match goes in play, my bet will still remain valid. In this case, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to cancel the bet completely. So this little cross cancels your bet, and then you update it and it's vanished. Okay, so I now have no outstanding bets available to match. I just have my one bet that I placed on the draw. So that takes us to the other side of the table, which is the slightly complicated and the slightly alien concept of laying a bet. These pink numbers here represent bets that people want to place. So right now, someone or a number of people want to place a total of $15 at odds of 2.52 on Wolves to win, odds of 3.4, $27 on Everton to win, and 3.5, $661 for the draw. Now, what I can do, if I want to, is I can lay their bet. So laying somebody's bet is exactly what a bookmaker does to you. So when you bet at the bookmaker, you're backing, so you're placing a bet, backing, and the bookmaker is laying you that bet. So if I wanted to lay somebody's bet, I can simply click on the odds, choose how much I want to lay, and there we go. I can place a bet should I want to. Now, your liability is the amount of money that the person will be winning. So what they're doing is they're betting odds of 3.4 for $4. So if that bet wins, then they stand to win $9.60, which means that you have to pay them $9.60. If that bet loses, so if Everton lose, that means that your bet wins. So you stand to receive $4 less the commission that Betfair imposes on you. I'm not going to place this bet, so let's cancel this. In the same way as you can request a back bet, as I showed you with Everton, you can also request a lay bet. So you can basically offer whatever odds you want and hope that someone takes that bet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer odds on Everton to win. So the odds are, I can choose any odds that I want from 1.01 up to 1,000. What I'm going to do is I'm going to offer odds of 3.25 for $4. So let's place the bet, and you're going to notice that, oh, it hasn't appeared. It's changed. It's a small amount. So sometimes they aggregate them together. So I'm going to increase that up to a little bit higher, $30. And there we go. So my $30 is now there. So $30 is freely available for somebody to bet against me. So if someone wants to do that, they bet their $30. If Everton win, then I pay them 30 multiplied by the odds of 3.25, sorry, which includes the stake coming back to you. Let me see what else is of use here. So that's the basics of backing and laying. I'm going to cancel these bets because I certainly don't want to place a bet on Everton winning it. The other interesting things to note here are the little graphs. I'll show you the graph previously. There are three aspects to it. Let's have a closer look. The first was the table on the right, which shows you, firstly, the blue, which shows you the amount of money that are available to be bet at each odd. So if you want to bet at odds of 2.44, there's $18 available. The pink column shows you the odds that are available to lay at each odd. So if you want to offer a bet of 2.5 for odds of 3, and that's available, 2.52, odds of 11, all the way down, all the way up to 1,000. So if you wanted to offer odds of 280 for Everton to win, and someone is happy to accept your bet, please don't do it because you'll lose a fortune if that happens. The final column shows you the odds that have been traded. So at each odd, you can see whether or not anything has happened and how much it's happened for. So someone or a multiple number of people have bet $25 at odds of 2.36 on Wolves, $3, 2.38, $4, 465, and so on. So that shows you what has been happening. It's also represented in this graph over here. Now on the left-hand side axis, we have the odds that have been matched. So the price, the betting price, and along this side we have the volume, so the amount of money that has been matched at each odd. Let's look at the first one here. So this bar chart here shows you that this amount of money approximately here, so about $25, maybe a little bit less than that,